Can you imagine being a promising bodybuilder at his best and having the worst happen to you? In today's new video, we'll learn about the tragic death of Dallas McCarver, a young man who quickly became known in the bodybuilding world for his 6 feet tall and his beastly 331 pounds. Many know him as Big Country for his imposing physical size and his origin in the southern United States. Don't forget to subscribe now to start learning about his life and the legacy he left in fitness. Let's start. Dallas McCarver was born in a small town in Tennessee, United States, in 1991, in a middle-class family where he did not have access to many of the resources that other bodybuilders could find in larger cities. Already at the age of 14, Dallas began lifting weights, at which point he realized that it was his calling. Attracted by his possibility of developing an amazing physique and competing in bodybuilding, he began to prepare. His remarkable dedication and rapid progress led him to compete at a professional level at the age of 21. He was always very dedicated and was known for his intense work ethic. He would train 6 days a week, putting in weightlifting sessions that could last over 2 hours, as well as including 30 minutes of cardio. In 2012, he won his first major title at the MPC North American Championships, which opened the door to a high-profile professional career. The year before that, he won his first local title, placing first in the junior heavyweight category in hometown Tennessee at the Hub City Fitness Quest competition. By the astonishing age of 21, he had already won his first major competition, the NPC Nationals in 2015, which earned him his IFBB Pro card. Dallas was certainly a real up-and-comer at just 21 years old. He only needed 3 championships to earn his pro bodybuilding card, unlike 7-time champion Phil Heath, who did so at his 4th championship. He had a privileged physique with a weight of over 286 pounds in competition, and was known for his impressive muscle volume, especially in his chest, back, and legs. And his 6 feet gave him an advantage to fill his physique with muscle mass without losing proportion. However, these 2 titles that we mentioned before were not enough for Dallas. He aspired to much more. In 2015, he started with important competitions, participating in the Arnold Classic, where he obtained a humble 10th place, but a top 10 was not bad for someone so young. The following year, he competed again in this competition, placing 13th, with Kai Green being the winner, marking his rise to the elite of bodybuilding. This event gave him the visibility that allowed him to compete in nothing more and nothing less than that year's Mr. Olympia. For this competition, Dallas trained 6 days a week, focusing on different muscle groups each day. His training sessions lasted around 2 hours, with a focus on weightlifting, followed by cardio. His diet, on the other hand, consisted of consuming between 5,000 and 6,000 calories daily. He ate every 2 to 3 hours, which added up to 6 to 8 meals a day. At this Mr. Olympia, he was the youngest competitor at just 25 years old, taking on athletes much more experienced than him. He was up on stage with people over 30 years old, who obviously had more training time. Dallas stood out on stage for his massive size and a good combination of size and symmetry. His back and legs were 2 of his strong points in this competition, and although his size and proportions were impressive, some critics mentioned that his level of definition was not as fine as some of the competitors like Phil Heath, who was the winner that year. Here, Dallas obtained the 8th place, being a declaration of his potential in the sport, and making it clear that he could aspire to a top 3 in the coming years at such a young age. But Dallas did not know that very difficult and sad years were coming. If you are enjoying the video, a subscription will help the channel to grow. Thank you, friends. We continue. In 2017, Dallas competed at the Arnold Classic in Australia, obtaining his best result in a major competition, placing 2nd, and the first place went to Cedric McMillan, who at 40 years old outperformed everyone. However, Cedric passed away 5 years later in 2022 from a heart attack while training. At this competition, few knew that Dallas was not healthy inside. In the middle of that competition, his health was suffering and he collapsed in the middle of the stage, and high-definition cameras captured everything from various angles. He immediately had to be treated by doctors. They later confirmed that he suffered from a serious respiratory infection. This was the beginning of Dallas's tragic end. Despite these problems and signs that his body was giving him, he continued to compete and was considered one of the great promises of professional bodybuilding. At 26 years old, being a great bodybuilder with a whole career ahead of him, he was found dead in his home in Florida by a friend on August 22, 2017, 5 months after his fainting at the Arnold Classic. It was a very difficult time for his loved ones. Dallas was completely in love with his girlfriend Dana Brooke, a famous bodybuilder and wrestling star in WWE from 2013 to 2023, who remembers him as one of the most genuine people she ever met in her life. The cause of his death was choking on food during his dinner. The most shocking thing was that his girlfriend had spoken on the phone an hour before his death, and Dallas told her that he was going to make dinner. "I love you, goodbye," were his last words. What was even more surprising was that he seemed to be doing well in the days leading up to his death, uploading a video showing him working out on Instagram the day before his death. Without a doubt, the week that Dallas passed away was one of the toughest in the history of bodybuilding. As we said, Dallas passed away on August 22, 2017. And 3 days later, on August 25, 2017, at the age of 46, Rich Piana, a renowned American bodybuilder, businessman, and social media personality, passed away. Rich was found unconscious at his home, and after being taken to the hospital, it was determined that he had suffered cardiac arrest. The proximity of the deaths of Dallas and Rich generated a wave of shock and reflection in the bodybuilding community. Both athletes were known for their extremely muscular bodies and intensive training practices, and their deaths led to a renewed debate about the dangers of substances and the extremes to which bodybuilders often subject themselves to achieve their physical goals. The coroner's report showed that Dallas had many of his organs damaged and overly enlarged. His kidneys were swollen from digesting so much protein, his heart was larger than normal, his liver was 4 times the normal size, and he suffered from papillary thyroid cancer. This was due to the use of large amounts of drugs, including in the toxicology test. It was determined that he had consumed growth hormone, insulin, testosterone, and trenbolone. The bodybuilding world was shocked by the news. For many, he was a great source of inspiration, being very active on social networks where he shared his training, motivating and inspiring many of his followers. He was known for his approachable and friendly personality, which allowed him to connect with his fans in an authentic way. He not only sought to be the best in his sport, but also to inspire others to pursue their dreams. His charisma on stage was impressive, and his physique, a mix of size, proportion, and definition, made him stand out among his rivals. However, beyond his titles and competitions, what truly set him apart was his ability to connect with people. Dallas not only sought to be the best bodybuilder, but also to motivate others to meet their own goals, no matter how unattainable they might seem. Dallas often shared his philosophy on training and life through motivational quotes. One of his most well-known quotes is, "Pain is temporary, glory is forever," which reflects his dedication and determination in bodybuilding. However, his story is an example of the importance of taking care of our health. His tragic death leaves us with a profound lesson about the importance of taking care of our health and well-being, even in the pursuit of our dreams. And this is all. Don't forget to subscribe, and you can look the next bodybuilder history